Who are the Snith crusters? Jadam Havage and Hamy Gina Man, between them almost 1 year of chemistry experience. They don't just write a 400 to 600 word essay about the myths, they put them to the test.
Recording.
Oh, did you bring some for me?
Actually, this one comes from a viewer. They say they heard of a relative who, when some unexpected dinner guests arrived, served them soup in bowls made from their own shirts.
Fabric soup bowl. I like it.
So we're going to try using 2 different formulas made from household chemicals. And what we're going to do, we'll start on the small scale to get a feel for what it'll be really like.
And then move on to full scale. I like it.
Alright guys, what we've got here are our 2 tests. This one here is going to be our control, this is going to be untreated fabric. And this here, we're going to treat this fabric with one of our solutions. But first, I'll explain the methodology. What we've got are 2 beakers. We're going to pour 40 ml of water from this beaker onto each of the fabrics and see how much goes in. So, if this beaker here, the untreated one, ends up with more water in it than the treated one, then we'll know that it's working. Fun fact, this here is the same fabric that Indiana Jones's hat was made from. But how are we going to make this solution? Over to you, Hamy.
Alright, so we're going to be using the hexane hydrocarbon here and a little bit of silicone liquid. Both of these are common household chemicals, but you should never try this at home. Remember, we're experts. Alright, so we're going to pour 100 ml of this bad boy into the beaker. It's stinky, alright.
So, get the footage off the phone onto the 5 ml of this stuff. Lovely.
I'm going to mix the 2 together. And give them a stir. I like that. Alright, we've put the solution into this standard spray bottle, one of many that I have around my workshop. We're just going to give it a spray. Make sure it's nice and evenly coated. Looking good. Now let's put it to the test.
Alright, to recap, this is our control, untreated fabric, and this is our treated fabric. First we're going to try the control. We have 40 ml of water that we'll pour over this.
Yep.
That looks definitely like it's beating more.
Does anyone know where Aiden went? I reckon it balances Cadel. I reckon it's not too.
I don't get it.
I'm trying to feel it.
Everything's too good.
I want it sodden, boy.
In light of our recent discoveries, we've stepped it down. We're only pouring 20 ml in, and we have recoated this. So we've coated a new piece of fabric with much more of our solution, and that's what we'll test first. It looks the same.
Alex, when you have a minute, could you please come?
Looks the same. Now I'll fill this and get ready for the control. We have drips coming from our control, but our coated fabric is still not dripping, still totally fine. Was that a drip?
I think so.
Maybe
But
it is
to be
dripping.
honest, this one's dripping at a much larger rate.
So this was effective, but not 100%. We must tinker with this before the large scale. Alright, Hamey, so it's time to take this full scale. What's the plan?
Alright, well what we're going to do is put one shirt each, take it to the top of the bucket to make a bowl shape in there. And then we're going to pour the same amount of soup onto each bucket, measure how much soup drips through, and that should give us the results of our myth.
Alright, so this is going to be the only way to find out whether it is possible to serve soup from a t-shirt.
Alright, we're going to treat the first shirt with the original hexane and silicone solution. So first, we're going to put it into this little spray bottle. Put the lid on. Give it a little bit of spray.
Alright, so now we'll be making a second mixture. What we've got here is mineral turpentine and soybean oil. We'll be putting half a litre of mineral turpentine with a litre of soybean oil to create this second mixture, just as Indiana Jones did in Indiana Jones and the Temple of the Mineral Turpentine. Let's get started with half of this 1 litre of mineral turpentine. Now you got to make sure you don't spill it. Don't try this at home, kids. Alright, so that's half a litre of mineral turpentine in this. Now we've got to add the 1 litre of soybean oil.
Oh, that sure is gluggy, Adam.
Indeed it is, Amy. And there we go. That's 1 litre of soybean oil. Now that we have this mixture, we'll be placing this in a spray bottle, not too dissimilar to the spray bottle Amy used for the first experiment.
Alright, it's time to make our delicious soup. First we need some boiling water. Here's some I prepared earlier. Oh, what's up?
The next thing we're going to need is this soup mix. So we're going to need to open this.
Oh! Oh, that was dangerous. How did you do that at home?
Don't try this at home, kids.
Oh no, it's bleeding. It's right for the blood in your soup, never hurt anyone.
Alright. Now it's time to insert this soup mix. So we're just going to pour it on in here,
Oh, doesn't that look delicious?
Oh, I am loving this. Stir this up with our professional service that we got at Maker Fair 2081. Alright, that great job stirring, Amy.
This looks absolutely delicious.
I can smell the tasty goodness from here.
Now it's time to put those shirts to the test.
Oil and Terps, test 1 in 3, 2, 1. It's not sounding good for the meth.
You can definitely hear some drips going through. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, tip.
Alright. Wouldn't want to eat that for dinner.
Alright, now it's time for the hexane and silicone test. Let's see if this works a bit better than the last one.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up.
Alright, it's time to measure which one of the techniques work the best. First we've got the terps and oil. It now weighs 736 grams, which means roughly 0.7 of a litre went through. Now, the other one, 647 grams, means about 0.6 of a litre went through. So it's obvious that the hexane and silicone solution worked better, but still, that's nearly 2/3 of the soup that went through, so it's hardly a good result.
Warning: Science content.
So here's how it works. The silicone is made from silicon and oxygen in a backbone, which has methyl groups coming off of it.
Now each of these methyl groups is unpolarized, so the water doesn't even need to stick to it and it gets deflected.
The hexane is used because the silicone needs a medium to be projected onto the surface with, and it also helps it soak into the fabric and form a protective layer.
Now the other solution, the oil and turpentine, functions in much the same way. Oil is hydrophobic, just like the silicone, because it's non-polarized, and the turpentine acts like the hexane. Back to you in the studio.
Oh, gross.
Talking about the myth? It's not
No.
looking good.
No, it's not. I think that the fact that it couldn't be held, the soup couldn't be held in that makeshift bowl for 5 whole minutes means that there's not really any way you could have finished dinner in that time.
Plus, the actual chemicals we used were toxic, so it wouldn't be edible anyway. I
So-
reckon I'm going to have to give this myth busted.
I agree. I concur wholeheartedly. I trust everything you do here. M5 Industries is your baby, and I
Jadam,
just think this is great for you.
I love you.
I love you too, Hammy.
Myth busted.